Chapter 7, Ken. The whole trick to making good curry is getting the right ratio of turmeric, coriander, and cumin into your sauce. Don't even bother with that crap from a jar. You've got to make it yourself. I mean, how many clam rolls can a person eat? Apparently a lot around these parts. The rice cooker light came on, notifying me that my basmati rice was done. Astro swiped at my leg with his paw. He wanted a taste of whatever I was making. I flicked a piece of pre-cooked diced chicken off the cutting board towards the floor. He easily snatched it up with his tongue. I had just dumped the chicken into the sauce when Noodles let himself through my back door. Astro ran up to him and put his front paws onto his chest.
Astro,
He said as he gave the dog a vigorous rub behind the head. I stirred the sauce and said, "Hey, good timing." Noodles sniffed the air and squinted.
what's that?
"I told you, we're having curry chicken. You haven't had Indian food before?" He looked around with a concerned look on his face.
Do you smell that?
"What, the cumin? It's an important ingredient."
No, something smells rank.
"You gotta be kidding me. You've never had Indian food before."
No, dude, I've had plenty of Indian food. Something smells off. I noticed it when I came in.
I leaned over my simmering pot and sucked in a chestful of aroma, then exhaled deeply. I was getting annoyed by my friend's remarks. "It smells great. What are you talking about?" Noodles in his nose wandered around my house, firing off a scent sniff every few feet. Astro playfully followed behind him, thinking he would be getting more attention. Noodles stopped in the middle of my living room and frowned.
It smells like ass over here.
I slammed my spoon down on the countertop. Seriously? Did Astro just take a dump? Although I had given Astro a little bit of the curry sauce, I don't think it would come out the back end that fast. I knelt down on the carpet and scanned for the despicable discharge. Astro got down next to me in a play bow. He didn't realize he was 10 seconds away from a severe scolding. I spotted a weird lump of something under my sofa. I reached for it and was enveloped in a sphere of stench. My first thought was, how did Astro get a pile of turds under my sofa? It looked solid enough, so I was able to grab it. It was brown, hard, and looked like the end of a cow's femur. I had to hold my breath as I held it up to show Noodles. Astro got excited, as if I was going to play fetch with him. Noodles backed away from me.
What the fuck, dude?
I held it out at arm's length as I strode towards the kitchen door, kicked it open, and chucked the thing into the middle of my backyard. Astro scampered down the steps after it. I quickly closed the door and took a deep breath. I shouted, "Jesus Christ!" as I wiped my eyes. That thing was vile.
What the hell was it?
It looked like the end of a bone of some sort. The animal must have died recently. Through the kitchen window, we watched Astro play with the thing in the backyard. He eventually laid down with it between his paws and started gnawing at it. If the dog wants to chew on that thing all night, he can stay outside. Noodles approached the stove.
Is that stuff ready?
"Yeah, grab a plate." I went over to the sink and washed my hands. There's rice in the cooker. While Noodles loaded up on rice, I pulled out 2 Coronas out of my fridge and handed him one. "Here, they're not flying horse, but close enough.
What's a flying horse?
Indian beer." We sat at the kitchen island, chowing down on dinner. Noodles swallowed a mouthful of food, then said,
So what do you think of? Your windows are the eyes of your home.
"Making more proverbs now, are we?"
I was gonna use that work.
Noodles worked as the event marketer for a shitty little company that sells replacement windows indoors to homeowners. I suppose it was better than delivering pizzas, which is what he used to do. He glanced around my living room quizzically. "You know, windows may account for more than 30% of your home's heating loss." I didn't look up from my plate. "My windows are fine," I said, my mouth full. Noodles studied each window.
Do you know what the R value of yours are?
Annoyed, I shot back, "Will you knock it off with your marketing shit? Nobody gives a crap about windows." Noodles became fixated on the window on the other side of my living room for a moment, then asked,
Is that Astro?
"Where?"
I thought I saw Astro in your front yard.
"Astro was out back," I said. I got up, opened the back door, and scanned my yard. He wasn't there. Noodles and I turned around and went to the front door. I opened the door, and there he was, sniffing a light pole next to the street. I thought, what the hell's he doing out front? I shouted, "Astro, come here." He joyfully bounded up to me and sat down, giving me a complete look of innocence. I petted him on his head and asked, "How did you get out here?" A voice yelled from the porch next to mine.
Keep that damn dog on your property.
I called him Drunk Scott, my asshole neighbor who was a raging alcoholic. With his white hair and stooped shoulders, he seemed perpetually old and permanently cantankerous. Civility between us ended long ago. I said, "I didn't let him out, you old coot."
I don't want to see that dog shitting on my lawn.
Drunk Scott bellowed. "He didn't shit in your lawn."
That damn dog has been running around the neighborhood for the past week.
What are you talking about? He's been in my backyard since I moved here. There's a 6-foot fence around it. Drunk Scott flailed his arms into the air.
He pissed on my mailbox yesterday.
You were probably hammered and saw another dog piss on your mailbox. He didn't shit on your property. He's fenced in. He picked up a little bag of something from behind a flower pot on his porch. He shook it at me while he screamed,
I have the shit! I have the shit!
as if it were a vital piece of evidence to some murder trial.
I had to clean it up 2 days ago. He's been up and down the street.
It's not my dog's turd, you drunk fossil. Do I have to genetically test a bag of dog feces to convince you? I pointed towards my backyard and stressed again. My yard is fenced in.
That was your dog I saw.
I realized I wasn't getting anywhere with him. I calmly said, "Look, I'm taking him back now." He yelled out,
I don't want to see that dog out here again.
and slammed his front door. I muttered, "Fuck me," to myself. There was no way I was going to convince the old mummy that he saw another dog. I led Astro through the side gate and let him go. He bounded to the middle of the yard, spun around, and looked at me. Wagging his tail, he thought I was going to play with him. Noodles said,
How do you think he got out then?
"I don't know. The gate was shut." Noodles and I walked along the inside perimeter of the yard, studying the fence as Astro followed us.
Do you think he could have jumped over it?
I doubt it. We stopped at my tool shed, and I pushed at a clump of weeds with my foot. I muttered, "Oh shit." Astro had dug a hole under the fence. The weeds blocked the view from the house. We had to stand right where we were to see it. Astro admired his handiwork, wagging his tail beside me. Noodles and I exchanged looks of embarrassment. I guess the old coot was right. We found a couple of concrete paving stones and wedged them under the fence. I grabbed a shovel and filled the rest of the hole in. I certainly wasn't going to apologize to Drunk Scott. He could keep his prized bag of dog shit.